The Hells Angels, one of the most iconic motorcycle clubs in the world, captivated the imagination of many. However, in the Netherlands, one particular Hells Angels charter rose to infamy, led by a legendary figure whose reign was marred by violence and criminality. The Dutch Hells Angels charter ultimately faced a ban from the Dutch government. In this video, we explore the story of this enigmatic leader and the events that unfolded during their tumultuous reign. The Hells Angels is a motorcycle club that started in California in 1948. They are a well-known group of motorcyclists and are sometimes called an outlaw motorcycle gang. The club is accused of doing bad things by the police, and it's in many countries. Most of the people in the Hells Angels group are white men who ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Everyone has an official name, which might be a fun nickname. It is difficult to become a member. People who want to join the Hells Angels have to go through a long process to make sure they are a good fit. If someone decides to leave the group, they have to give back any clothing or items with the Hells Angels name or symbol on them. In some chapters, members have clubhouses, but usually they meet at bars and go on rides together to fun places. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club started in Fontana, California in 1948. During World War II, bomber crews used the nickname Hells Angels. There was also a Hollywood film called Hells Angels in 1930 about aviators during World War I. The club started in San Francisco in 1954, and then opened another chapter in Oakland in 1957. They also expanded to New Zealand in 1961. Most people didn't know about it until 1965, when the Attorney General of California, Thomas C. Lynch, wrote a report about the motorcycle gangs like the Hells Angels and the bad things they were doing. People criticized Lynch for making things seem more exciting than they really were, but many news outlets in the United States talked about his report a lot. Hunter S. Thompson wrote his first book about the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club in the San Francisco Bay Area. It was called Hells Angels, A Strange and Terrible Saga, and was published in 1966. Thompson made friends with a lot of people in the club, but they ended up turning on him and hurting him. He really liked Ralph "Sonny" Barger, who was the president of the Oakland chapter for a long time. This made Barger become the club's main representative and spokesperson across the country. The Hells Angels became more famous after they were asked to keep the Rolling Stones concert safe at the Altamont Festival on December 6, 1969. A person who was part of the Hells Angels group was accused of killing a young man named Meredith Hunter at a concert by stabbing him. However, the person was found not guilty later. The documentary Gimme Shelter, 1970, showed violent images from the concert and was seen by many people. It was made by Albert and David Maysles and Charlotte Zwerin. At the same time, filmmakers with limited funds were making movies about bikers, which people were very interested in. Some of these movies had titles that mentioned the Hells Angels, like The Wild Angels, 1966, Hells Angels on Wheels, 1967, Hells Angels 69, 1969, and Angels, Hard as They Come, 1971. The Hells Angels used to be known for fighting in bars, but later on police started to link them with making and selling illegal drugs, especially meth. In the early 1980s, two tries to charge club members with the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act didn't work out and resulted in mistrials. The FBI still considers the Hells Angels a type of motorcycle gang that operates outside the law, according to their national gang report, the Dutch Hells Angels. The Dutch Hells Angels group in Harlem, Netherlands became famous for being violent and doing illegal things when Lysander de Aar was in charge. In 2014, Lysander took over the charter and made it very strict and aggressive. We don't know much about Lysander's past, but we do know he competed in sports when he was 10 and was on a Dutch news show when he was young, talking about family guardians. During Lysander's time as leader, the Harlem charter was involved in many crimes that happened outside of Harlem. The club did bad things like forcing people to pay them, sneaking things illegally, stealing, and being violent. This made everything feel chaotic and ruined. They burned down several clubhouses of other motor clubs from 2014 to 2015. The mayor of Harlem received threats and his car was set on fire because he wanted to get rid of the motor club. Lysander was a leader who liked to be in control and didn't listen to other people's ideas. People who disagreed with him were quickly kicked out of the club, so he stayed in control. Even though Lysander caused trouble, other Hells Angels groups didn't do anything to him. They thought the problem might fix itself. Lysander was sent to jail for 9 years in 2018, which ended his reign. He was accused of demanding money, making scary statements, and using physical force. In 2019, the Dutch government banned the Hells Angels organization in the Netherlands because they saw it as a criminal group instead of a real motorcycle club. The Hells Angels group in Harlem, led by Lysander de R, did many bad things like violence and breaking the law. This was a sad time for the club. Reign of Lysander. The Hells Angels in the Netherlands, led by Lysander de R, became known for committing serious crimes. They were based in Harlem. This group did bad things like making people pay them money, sneaking things across borders, stealing, and attacking others. They set fire to other clubhouses to show they were in charge and cause damage. The Harlem Charter used extortion as a way to commit crimes. They would threaten people or businesses and ask for money or valuable things. This helped them make illegal money and have power over the people they were targeting. The Harlem group was involved in smuggling, which is a type of crime. This is when people move and sell illegal things like drugs or weapons across borders or within the country. The illegal trade made the Charter a lot of money. The Harlem group committed robbery as well as other crimes. They would steal money, valuable assets, or merchandise from individuals, businesses, or rival clubs. This made their illegal money even more and showed that they were ready to use violence to get what they wanted. The Charter was known for being aggressive and using force to intimidate their rivals. They were often violent and got into fights with other motorcycle clubs or people they met. But Lysander de R is no longer the leader of the Harlem Charter since 2018. He got 9 years in jail for doing bad things like making threats, hurting people, and demanding money from others. He was punished by the law for his part in committing these crimes, which hurt people and society as a whole. Lysander de R's punishment was a big hit to the Harlem Charter's power and illegal activities. It stopped people from committing crimes and showed that criminals would be punished. This event showed how law enforcement is working to stop organized crime and break up criminal groups. Lysander de R was given a 9-year jail sentence for his role in these crimes, which was the right thing to do. A court in the Netherlands has prohibited Hells Angels bikers. The Hells Angels Biker Club has been banned in the Netherlands because they are known for being violent. The Utrecht court decided that the group was a threat to the safety of the public and the law. It means there were many fights between different motorcycle gangs, such as the Bandidos. We don't know if the Hells Angels will appeal the verdict. The group started in 1948 and now has many members all over the world. The Utrecht court said that violence is very bad and causes a lot of problems in society, so it goes against what is considered acceptable behavior. The court talked about Hells Angels Holland and the bigger group it was a part of. The Netherlands has made a decision to ban the entire club, not just some of its local branches. This makes them the first country to do so. The Hells Angels Club started in California. People all over the world who belong to this group like to ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles and wear denim and leather. That's all for the video today. We will be right back. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.